Hi gang, Rob here. It is the evening of 23 February 2023, Thursday night, 9 o'clock. Time for a knife sale on the Apostle P channel, and we got a beauty for you guys tonight. Before I get into the nuts and bolts, let's do a little bit of housekeeping, shall we? First of all, I need you to be familiar with and agreeable to the terms of the sale. I'm going to post them on the screen for you in just a moment. I will then reprint them in the description underneath this video so you can familiarize yourselves with them at your leisure. Also, in the description underneath this video, at the very top, you'll see 3 links to previous videos on the channel, all very important for different reasons. The first is entitled A Primer for Buyers. That video is a 38-minute expanded explanation of the terms of the sale. So if you are a noob, please watch that, and your purchase experience will go oh so much more smoothly. The second link is to my FAQs for Consignors video. So if you're interested in using this weekly sale to move along some of your collection, that video explains how it all works from the consignor's perspective. And then the third link, as always, is to my rates and services video for the TheApostleP Knife Service, the original precision sharpening service for the online knife community. So in that all-important description at the top, 3 links to important videos in the middle, terms of the sale at the bottom, the list of tonight's inventory complete with timestamps on the left, pricing on the right. In the pricing column, you'll generally see 2 numbers. The one on the left, the price of your knife as shown in the sale video, the price on the right, as sharpened by the TheApostleP Knife Service. There will be space for 4 knives to be sharpened next day this week. So the first 4 knives purchased to be sharpened this evening will ship tomorrow the 24th with all the as shown inventory. If you fall outside that, expect your sharpened knife to ship in 3 to 4 weeks. I believe that's it for the housekeeping. Oh, no, it isn't. If you see the word sold, exclamation point, all caps, in lieu of pricing for a given knife, that thing has been bought and paid for by its new owner. No need to send and I'll take it. I do suggest you peruse the inventory to check what's been sold before you send an I'll take it email. And that is it for the housekeeping. Let's get the terms up on the screen for you, and then we'll be right back with the sale inventory. Here are the terms. All right, let's get to it, shall we? Well, first up, we had a huge sale last week and all but 1 item sold. And that's the one leftover we have this week. A rather fortuitous event that this is left over, because if you keep watching, you'll see something that might go quite well with this. This is from Sage Grouse. And I think there's a card in here. Western leather for traditional knives, sagegrouseLeather.com. That's where it came from. And it is a pocket slip for a traditional slip joint pocket knife. And specifically, this slip is very good at accommodating knives like this one from Great Eastern Cutlery. Look at that, would ya? Whew, man, I had to shake forever to get that out. It needs to be broken in. Anyhow, so this is actually 4 3/4 long by 3 1/8 wide. Beautifully tooled, black leather, gorgeous white stitching, super well made. It's like new in the box. We ran it last week at 65 bucks, dropped it to 50 for the weekend. This week, 40 bucks. And it might go really, really, really well with a number 45 roughneck. I'm just saying. Next up, we had one of this maker's knives last week. We got another one this week from Uncle freaking Jesse. Jesse Hemphill. Knife comes in the embossed Uncle Jesse sheath, and frankly it doesn't fit too good. It doesn't really want to go in farther than that, and it doesn't retain very well, so just so you know. I believe this is A2. We're going to call this the Jesse Hemphill Bowie. Blade length is 5 1/8. Brass guard, red and little tiny black spacers. The handle I think is curly koa. And it's kind of a Lovelacy Morani Jesse handle. Got a little bit of swell in the center. Beautiful in the hand. Deeply etched maker's mark. Nice swedged clip point. I'm going to call it near mint, no box, with a sheath that doesn't fit too good. You guys probably have one of these laying around that'll fit better. Anyway, let's do this at 140 like it is. Did you see the chatoyancy in that wood? Oh my lord. And 165 if you like it with my edge on it. That's the Jesse Hemphill Bowie. Next up. This is a pretty cool knife. It is the Remington Musket 1 Barlow. Kind of a granddaddy Barlow. You got the Remington stamp in the bolster. You got the rifle shield, you got saw cut Delrin, you got 5 inches of closed length. I'm guessing by the grinds these were made by Camillus, at least the blades were. And then it's a 200th anniversary edition, says right there. Then you have the portrait etched of, I don't know how to say this, guys, you help me out with this one. Eliphalet Remington, that can't be how you pronounced it, but anyway, pretty cool. About a 6 pull. Great walk and talk. Centering very close. No box with this one, but I'll call it near mint. A little bit of wear in the nickel silver, but that'll polish up quick. These are doing sold listings on eBay between $45 and $71. Let's do 45 on this one, and then 65 you like it with my edge on it. That's the Remington Musket 1 Barlow. Next up, this is such a cool little knife. So a lot of you guys know there used to be a little company in Oregon called Pacific Cutlery. The trademark for Pacific Cutlery was a butterfly because they were most well known for their balisong knives, butterfly knives. That company became known as Benchmade later on, and this is from probably what, late 80s, early 90s. It is a Pacific Cutlery Gent's Lockback knife. I don't know the model name. Not sure what wood that is, but it surely is attractive. Gorgeous. I thought when I first looked at this maybe it was a Seki City Moki made knife, but it's not. If you look closely, Pacific Cutlery Corp is the tang stamp on this side, and then back here 440C stainless Taiwan. And let me wipe my greasy fingerprints off that blade. So here's what you got. Nice little spear point blade, full height hollow ground, 2 3/8 inches in length. The handle's 3 3/16. There is zero blade play on this knife. Looks like nickel silver bolsters and liners on this one. I don't think that's steel. Nice free action. Look at that. Centering is off. It appears like maybe it's been touched up once or twice, but very judiciously sharpened. Not hurt at all. We'll call it excellent to near mint, no box. How about let's do 80 bucks on this one, like it is 100 if you'd like it with my edge. That is the Pacific Cutlery Lockback Gent's knife. Next up, speaking of knives made by Moki in Seki City, we got one. This is a very old Almar Hawk midlock. And I really can't identify this material for the covers. It is a layered black and brown micarta, but it doesn't look like linen. It almost looks like it must be paper micarta. Very cool. This should be stainless steel for the bolster material, I think. Closed length is 3 15/16, and it all looks beautiful till you do that. So that beautiful spear point blade that came on this knife originally has been sharpened in within an inch of its life. But this has got to be an early 90s model, stamped Maker's Mark and Seki, Japan. Nice swedge. Very, very slight side play. Nice free blade. It is well centered, but it is missing a lot of blade, which is kind of a shame. Now, guys, if this knife was pristine, it'd be a $140, $150 knife, but we know it's about out of blade. We're going to do this for 40 bucks like it is, 60 with an Apostle P edge. Who knows, maybe one of you guys is industrious, you'll make a Warncliffe out of that. Who knows? That is the Almar Hawk. Next up, it's time for the case party. Not a very big one, but we got a couple. Here's your box. Inside it resides a 6355 WHSS. That is a Seahorse Whittler. A true. No, not a true split back. This will be a catch bit Whittler. Main blade, Warncliffe, true sharp stainless steel. Secondary blades are a coping blade and a pen. Everything is on cam tangs. Pull weight about a 7.5. Nice walk and talk. Blades are all centered up well. The cover material on this is honey brown jig bone. The closed length is 3 15/16. I'm going to call this excellent in box. Just some very light bolster wear, mostly tarnished, not really scratched or nicked up. Some very light scratching, scuffing on the blade. Might have been touched up, but a pretty doggone nice example. Great user. Your price on this one will be $65 like it is. $105 I sharpen all three blades. That's the case. 6355 WHSS Seahorse Whittler. Next up, there's a case knife I've never seen one of before. There's your box. There's your label. Interesting, it doesn't say on the box label what everybody calls this knife. It is the 6282 SP. People refer to this as the baby doc. The baby doc, doctor's knife, right? And very interesting. Appaloosa, smooth Appaloosa bone is what it's covered in. Look at that, huh? Greener on one side, bluer on the other. Got your oval shield, scrolled bolsters, or bolsters and end caps, brass pins, brass liners, true sharp stainless, 2 13/16 inches in closed length. Your main blade will be a skinny little spear on a cam tang, about, I don't know, a 5.5 pull. And then your secondary implement is a spatula. Pretty nifty. I'll call this one, we'll call it excellent. You know what, I'm going to call this near mint in box. Some very slight tarnish on the bolsters. Very cool little knife. Not everybody's got one of these. Well, let's see. These are doing between 96 and 130 sold listings on eBay. There were actually a few of them. Now let's do this one at 90 like it is. 110 with an Apostle P edge. The case 6282 SPSS Baby Doc. Next up, we're going to Titusville, but we're going to the other side of Titusville, to the old Schatt and Morgan factory for a Schatt and Morgan pocket knife. This is, it's a number 1L spear point swing guard lockback in Whiskey Cat pick bone. Oh my, would you look at that? Ooh, look at that bone, boys. I could overlook a lot given that bone. A Barlow with end cap. Don't see that very often. And here we go. Ooh, nice. We got a bayonet ground spear point with a long pull. 4 9/16 is the closed length on this. When it's open, I got 0 blade play. I can move the swing guard just a little, just so you know. Nice firm lock spring tension. Centering is pretty doggone good. Did this have a DFC tang stamp? Hard to tell under the guard. I don't think it does. Nope. So it's before, I don't know, before 2000 and what? Before 2012. Not sure when they made that, but anyway, pretty nice example. This will be a little less expensive than the one we had last week. Not quite as nice of a knife. We'll call it excellent in box. Your price 110, like it is, 135 with my edge on it. The Schatt and Morgan number 1L swing guard spear. Next up, we have a pretty special Schatt and Morgan for you. Comes in the white box. It's the number 48 Carpenter's Whittler in blue pick bone. Not only is it a gorgeous pattern, but guys, this bone. Oh my. Just look at that bone. Oh yes. Double line bolsters, keystone shield, brass center spacer, wedge spacer on the split back mechanism. 3 9/16 closed length. Main blade is a sheep's foot with the Schatt and Morgan etch. Pretty strong pull on the cam tang, about 7.5 I'd say. Beautiful walk and talk. And then the secondaries. I love when Queen or Schatt and Morgan did that clip secondary on a Whittler, and there's one. And then the other one, I think, is a pen. Is that right? Yeah. Right. And guys, I see 0 rub on this split back Whittler, which is very cool. I'm going to call this near mint in box. Just a slight bit of tarnish on the bolsters, but really a very, very nice example. Let's do 140 on this one like it is. 180, I sharpen all 3 blades. The Schatt and Morgan number 48 Carpenter's Whittler. Next up, we are having a moose stampede here, boys. First one from the Northfield unexcelled line from GEC is a model 811217 moose in Gabon ebony. This is sort of I wouldn't say it's a user, but it's been carried some. Double line bolsters, cloud shield, Gabon ebony covers. Serpentine opposite end moose. So, you know, got a little bit of spotting on the blade. Not bad. Nice walk and talk on cam tangs. I don't know, I'll say 6.5 pull. Out of the other end comes that secondary spear. Nice walk and talk. Blades are both pretty well centered, very near perfect, if not perfect. Let's see. I'll call it excellent in tube. I found one current listing on eBay for this knife. This same package with the same covers and everything. Now, probably a nicer knife than this one, probably a lot nicer, but it's a buy it now at $407 shipped. This one can be yours $175 like it is $205. I sharpened both blades. Next day sharpening available if it's one of the first four. That's the GEC Northfield number 81 Moose. Next up, another one from Great Eastern Cutlery. This one of the Tidioute line. It is a number 538209 MFT. Somebody got to help me with that. Antique green jig bone. So this is a 53 Moose. Here's the certificate of authenticity. Number 7 of 50 serialized knives from 2009. And look at the green jig bone. Doesn't look very green anymore. That's how it does. Looks more brown. Very cool. So the closed length is 4 1/16. We'll dig that muskrat clip main out of there. Little handle relief to get to that nail neck. Cam tang knife, but beautiful walk and talk. About a 7.5 pull. Warncliffe secondary. This knife has been sharpened. So it's number 7 out of 50, says the etch. Nice cam tang walk and talk on that thing. We'll call this excellent in tube, used and sharpened. Your price, $195 like it is, $225 with my edge on both blades. The GEC Tidioute number 53 Moose. Next up, we have another GEC. This one of the Northfield ilk. It is a number 892210 89 fruit knife in Gabon ebony. Guys, I'm not a huge fan of the 89 pattern, but this thing is flat gorgeous. There you go. Gabon ebony, cloud shield, double lined and pinched bolsters. 4 inches closed. Main skinny spear on a cam tang. Just about a 6 pull. Nice walk and talk. Out of the opposite end comes a little pen blade. Looks like it's had a little rubbing on it right near the tip. This has got a little bit of wear on the bolsters, a little bit of rub on the pen blade. We'll call it excellent in tube. Your price on this is going to be $130 like it is. $160 with an ApostleP edge. That's the GEC Northfield number 89 fruit knife. Okay, guys. I know those of you who watched the heads up video yesterday are going to be excited because I got an index card with the scribblings of How About the Truth. Let me read this for you. Hello, everyone. The restoration of my first generation Tacoma 4x4 is near complete. All I need is bodywork and paint. Thus, the sale of these knives. You guys want the good stuff. Everybody wins. All Titusville Ironworks era, baby. I'm really going to miss a few of these gems. Thanks for looking. Okay, all right, let's get going with the How About the Truth portion of tonight's sale. First knife, here is your tube. Must be a Tidioute. There's your tube label. It says it's a number 421112 Lockback in Frontier Bone, serialized number 4. We'll just put the knife out right here while we look at the card Steve wrote. Number 42112 LB Tidioute Missouri Trader in Frontier Bone. Comes with COA serial number 4. 1 of 25 pieces. Serialized, 25 more unserialized. Scratches on rear bolster came that way from the factory. I also have one of these, whoops, unserialized for personal carry. Of the 13 GECs in my personal EDC rotation, this is one of them I wish to use the most. I love it. But unlike my personal version, the one for sale here has no blade play up and down. The shield is inlaid perfectly parallel with the liner. See bottom of knife. Note how the rustic, uneven bone is low and dished out, making the shield appear uneven. Finest blade, finest large lockback. Yeah. There is your C of A, signed by, way back in 2012, one Patty Proper, potato peeling queen. And here is the knife. Oh, this is the big brother of the 83 Tascosa little lockback, right? You've got 4 1/4 inches of closed length, gorgeous frontier bone. There is your serial number stamped in the bolster. Let's see. Oh, there's that little scratch Steve's talking about right there. But wait. Oh. There is that big sexy clip. Oh my. Oh my. Let's see if Steve is lying. Nope. 0 blade play. Stiff spring. Centering very close to perfect. We're going to call this one a near mint in tube, made in 2012. Titusville Ironworks tank stamp. Your price, $375 like it is, $395 with an Apostle P edge. That's in your inventory as GEC Tidioute, number 42 Missouri Trader Lockback. Why so specific? Well, because we have another one coming up right here. This will be a Tidioute, number 42 Missouri Trader. It's going to have a different configuration. Let's read the card. Number 428212, Missouri Trader. Serial number 24 of 25. There were another 16 made without serial numbers. It's a PPP. Patty's Potato Peelers. It is etched thusly. Frontier bone. But a lot different looking frontier bone than the last one, huh? Very rare trapper with the sweetest blade set. Note the blade ID number 8. That's a muskrat clip main. No spay blade in this knife. That the secondary is a drop point skinner. I bought this knife from a GEC dealer who bought someone's collection. Pull weight is just south of bear trap, etc. Let's see. Let's see if he's lying, shall we? Let's give that, oh my. What did I say there? I said it's a 9. It is a 9 pull. So there's your muskrat clip main. By the way, 4 1/4 inches closed. And here is your, good Lord, drop point secondary. The walk and talk is gator snappy. Centering is perfect. Condition on this will be near mint in tube. 2012 production. Titusville Ironworks tank stamp. Number 24 of 25 serialized. Your price, $295 like it is. $330 with an Apostle P edge on both blades. That's in your inventory as GEC Tidioute, number 42 Missouri Trader 2 blade. Next up, oh, I teased you about this knife. I did. Northfield Unexcelled, number 45 Roughneck model 452212 with Indian paintbrush jig bone. Serial number 21. And the card says it's 21 of 25. Card signed by the legend, Christine Tucker. Here's the knife. Ooh, let's read the card. Number 452212, Roughneck Jack and Indian Paintbrush Jig Bone, Northfield, 1 of 25, 4.5 inches long close, serial number 21 with COA. One small flea bite near tip of main blade. We'll try to find that. First designed and produced exclusively here in America in the late 1800s by the Platt brothers. No other pattern has the history and work pedigree as this huge swell center sleeve board with several blade variations. We know these were coveted by the shipbuilders, lumberjacks, and roughnecks working the first oil derricks. But did you know this pattern played a key role in America's first infrastructure, used by the linemen who erected the telegraph and telephone lines? More nicknames than any other pattern. My favorite is vest axe or pocket vest axe. Rare. And rare it is. There you go, boys. Oh, golly. Oh. Get the Northfield wrench. Look at the huge jigging pattern on this huge knife. Main blade is on the back side. Let's see if we can find that flea bite. It was right there. Looks like Steve took a little flitz to it. No biggie. The roughneck etch. Good Lord. That's a 9 pull, guys. It is every bit of a 9. And check out the secondary on this thing. How about that? That's a secondary blade. Yeah. Very near mint in tube. 2012 production. Titusville Ironworks tang stamp. Number 21 of 25. Now, I found one pricing reference for this pattern. It was a Tidioute in wood. It's sold on a best offer at a buy it now price of $7.99. This one can be yours. Probably a more desirable version. Let's do it at $4.50 like it is. $4.80 with an ApostleP edge. And it would go rather well in that sage grouse slip. Just saying. That is the GEC Northfield number 45 Roughneck. Next up, oh, I don't believe I've ever seen one of these. Check that out, boys. Stay over there. Let's read the card. This is a number 470114 Viper, but it's an Acorn Viper. 440C. Serial number 06 of 24. There were another 25 unserialized. Comes with COA. Not only is this one of the most beautiful bone-handled Vipers, it's one of the rarest. Up till 2017, the Acorn knives are the rarest of all the trademarks. For some years, no Acorn folders were produced at all. This knife is flawless. People who shun 440C knives by GEC are truly missing the boat. 440C was first introduced in folding knives back in the 50s by none other than Queen Cutlery. Those old tang stamps say Queen Steel. Yes, those are indeed 440C. No other custom fixed blade and sword designer has won as many awards as Jay Fisher. He's the only modern artisan to have one of his... Why do I care? I don't know. His favorite blade steel is 440C. Great. Okay. Here's your COA. And here is your Viper. Very cool bone. Triple line bolsters. Acorn shield. There's your stamped serial number. Triple line bolsters. And there's your 440C blade. Pull weight on this one, we'll say 7, maybe 7.5. Walk and talk are perfect. Centering is very close. I called it near mint in tube. Steve says flawless. I'll buy that. What the heck? Couldn't find a pricing reference. There are none. I mean, there are none. Your price, $375 like it is, $395 with my edge. Next day sharpening available if it's one of the first 4. That is the GEC Acorn number 47 Viper. Next up, Another one from GEC, this one a Tidioute. It's another 47 Viper, model 470114, in stag cut bone. That's rather interesting. I just dropped Steve's note. Doggone it. Oh. Somebody lost a COA. Let's see. Oh. Here we go. Sorry about that, guys. A number 470114 Tidioute Viper in stag cut bone. 1 of 100. 2014 was a special year for GEC. It was also the year of the Viper. Not only did the Viper debut in 2014, but Bill Howard knew the knife community would go nuts over this sexy knife, so he produced Vipers from February of that year and again in August. 2014 saw a veritable plethora of handle choices under all 3 trademarks, and most were small runs. I bought 10 Vipers with no 2 alike, including the early February runs, yet no Viper, to my knowledge, ever received the PPP etch. If anyone has a PPP etch Viper, let us all know. Here is the knife. Now this one will be in your inventory as GEC Tidioute number 47 Viper, as opposed to the last one, which is the GEC Acorn number 47 Viper. Of course, 1095 steel, 3 7/8 long. Look at that stag cut bone. Man, it's just beautiful. And you got a satin no etch blade with a nail neck and a tiny drawn swedge. Beautifully ground on the old Nicholson machines. I mean, beautifully ground. Very nice. Pull weight 7, perfect walk and talk. Centering is close. We'll call it near mint in tube. 2014 production. TIW tang stamp. Your price on this one, $295 like it is. $315 with an Apostle P edge. That's the GEC Tidioute number 47 Viper. Time to turn the page. And over here on the back. Next up, I think the most special knife in the sale tonight, actually. It's from the Tidioute line of Great Eastern Cutlery. It's a number 57 Geppetto Whittler, model 570311, in blue looking glass abalone. Just take a gaze at that little beauty. Let's see what the card says here. Number 570311 Tidioute Geppetto split back Whittler in blue abalone looking glass. PPP, Patty's potato peeler etch. A lucky penny from a dealer in Pennsylvania. This is another one that rips my heart out to sell. One of only 24 pieces, all unserialized, the second rarest of all 57 Whittlers, including the Northfield versions. Only the pink Owabi shell looking glass is rare at only 17 pieces. Never made before or since, and I'm pretty sure this particular knife is also the second rarest of any Whittler ever made as a scheduled run by GEC. This knife is going on 12 years old and still has no blade rub. Aside from the huge 98, the 57 is the stoutest of all Whittlers, with its large bolsters with beefier joints. I remember how tight the main blade was when I bought it brand new. The walk and talk has only gotten better. Blade action is smooth. Abalone has very few seams, and to my eye, the rear cover appears seamless. Blah, 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 blah. You guys want to see the knife? Look at that. It's a Tidioute, so it's got a hot dog shield. I need to wipe. Okay. But look at that blue looking glass abalone. Oh my. Guys. Wow. 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 Let's see. Main Warncliffe, which is far superior to the clip point versions, I think. Satin blade Tidioute etch. Oh, it's like butter. 6-pull cam tang. Let's see. He says 0 rub, and he ain't lying. 0 rub. Secondaries are a coping and a clip. Looks like Mr. Howard brought the clip secondary Whittler blade over from Queen, didn't he? Guys, it's just a beaut. I mean a beaut. A beaut. Very near mint to like new in tube. It will not come cheap, and you know that. $7.25 like it is. $7.65 with an ApostleP edge. The GEC Tidioute number 57 Geppetto Whittler. Next up, guys, if I hadn't spent thousands of dollars over the winter on motorcycles, you guys would never see this knife. It is the Rob's pick tonight. It's a long Northfield tube in which resides a model 641113LBSG in Chechen rosewood. And I got a surprise about this rosewood. Oh my, here we go. The 641113LBSG Babylon Hill Special in Chechen rosewood. Northfield, one of only 36. None had serial numbers. These have not been made before or since. Bill Howard once said, "There's no such thing as the perfect factory knife." I beg to differ because this knife is perfect. No blade wrap, no blade play, even up and down. Not a micron of movement in the swing guard either. No tooling marks. I can't say this about my genuine stag version featured in our TKA video. Rock the knife gently back and forth and watch the 3D effect of the wood grain move on both sides. Unobtainium. This is ripping my heart out. There's a reason you don't see these for sale. Sexiest swing guard ever made by any company. Guys, here you go. What's special about that wood? Very seldom did GEC polish Chechen rosewood, but they did here, and oh my. Cloud shield, 6 times lined bolsters, chamfered at the ends. Oh. Clip point blade, cut swedge, long pull, Northfield etch, 0 blade play, 0 guard play. Centering is very, very close to perfect, if not perfect. Kind of depends on how it closes. Very near mint, in tube. One of the most sought after GECs ever made. If I had the money, it would be mine. But it ain't in the budget. Your price $750 like it is, $770 with an ApostleP edge. The GEC Northfield, number 64, Babylon Hill, swing guard lockback. Oh my. Next up. Another long Northfield tube. What could come after a 64? Oh, well, a 65, of course. It's a model 651115 Ben Hogan in tortoise shell acrylic. The card says 651115 Ben Hogan, Northfield, tortoise acrylic, one of only 33, none serialized, very rare. This is the only run of this version with tortoise shell acrylic. Only the recent fish knife version has these gorgeous handles. I bought this knife factory new. It doesn't have blade wrap at the rocker pin. However, there's a faint flat area on the edge forward of the rocker pin. I don't know if it's blade wrap or if a worker mishandled it somehow. Easily fixed by sharpening. Here we go, boys. Oh, oh my. Yes, 4.5 inches close length. Cloud shield. Non-locking version. Strong pull for a Ben Hogan. About 7.5. There's your gorgeous clip. Long pull cut swedge. I'm going to try to find this flat spot he's talking about because I missed it. I don't really see it, and if it's there, it's just the way it was sharpened at the factory. Don't believe that's wrap at all. There it is. It's very tiny. Wouldn't worry about it a bit. Near mint to like new in tube. 2014 production. Titusville Ironworks tang stamp. Can't find one to comp it against. Let's do $2.95 like it is. $3.15 with my edge. The GEC Northfield number 65 Ben Hogan. Next up, it is another Northfield from GEC. Uh-oh, it's a model 771214. Yankee freaking Barlow. Special factory order from Mac Collector Knives. In red camel bone. Ooh. And this card will cover the next two knives, actually. SFOs for Mike. Red camel bone, 47 pieces. LVS Abalone, 48 pieces. He bought the entire set, he says, 6 handle materials. These have never been made since. They are the improved Trapper blade set. Back when we sold a handful of my single blade versions, I stated they were the premier run, and they were. For single blades, these two bladers with Wharncliffe are the true premier run. Mike apologized to all the buyers about the Camel not taking the die well and problems with the Abalone as well. Still, full price of these are full price. These are not factory seconds. This is the only reason I'm selling these two. Otherwise, they are flawless rare gems. So let's see. Let's just see. He's right. The camel bone didn't take that red very well. Oh well. And let's see. These are nickel silver bolstered, brass lined. Main blade is a clip in Mike Latham faction. Satin, no etch, but we do have that big long cut swedge. Secondary is the Wharncliffe. How about that? Pull weight 7. Perfect walk and talk. Perfect centering. Near mint to like new in tube. And again, premier run 2014. Titusville Ironworks tang stamp. Your price $4.75 like it is. $5.10. I sharpen both blades. It's the GEC Northfield number 77 Yankee Barlow red camel. And next up comes the companion knife that we read about on the card from Northfield Unexcelled. It is another 771214 Yankee Barlow in LVS Abalone. So unlike Looking Glass Abalone, which is like one layer of abalone shell material with thick acrylic over top, this is many laminated layers of abalone. And it didn't polish perfectly. A little bit of a raggy spot right there. I'm not sure I'd complain. Nickel silver bolsters, brass liners. Clip main, satin no etch. Wharncliffe secondary. Pull weight are 7.5 on this one. Perfect walk and talk. Perfect blade centering. Condition near mint to like new in tube. Your price $4.75 like it is. $5.10 with an Apostle P edge on both blades. It's the GEC Northfield number 77 Yankee Barlow Abalone. Next up, we're moving to the modern folder portion of tonight's sale. First up, from Cold Steel, pre-buyout knife. It's an AD10 NS35 VN. Lefty clip is in the box. Here's the knife. Beautiful crowned satin finished black G10. Aluminum liners. An impact device / lanyard hole. There's your blade, a gorgeous satin spear point in S35, 3.5 inches of blade, 5 1/4 handle. triad lock, dead rock solid, yet super free. Centering very close to perfect, if not perfect. Condition on this knife will be near mint to like new in box. The currently available new stock would be post buyout, and they're $142. Web new. This one, a more desirable knife. $125 like it is, $150 with an Apostle P edge. That's the Cold Steel AD10. Next up, another one from Cold Steel. It's the AD15 in S35VN. Some really cool milled black G10. The lock bar is black coated, and I believe one clip does both sides on this one, so it's ambidextrous. And let's see. Oh, flicks right out. There's your S35 blade. 3 11/16 long on the 15. The handle 4 7/8. So a little more efficient blade to handle ratio on the 15 than the 10. Free dropping blade, rock solid lockup. Very close to perfect blade centering. It's also near mint to like new in box. These are available new at your favorite web retailer for 216 simoleons. This one can be yours though for $150 like it is. $175 with my edge. That's the Cold Steel AD15. Next up, I just love these. This is not a Cold Steel Black Talon 2. That's the box you get. The knife you get, I think, is much better than a Black Talon 2. This is a Code 4 Tonto with that gorgeous, this almost has like a bronzy gray hard ano on the aluminum scales. This one does not have a lefty clip, right hand only. Tip up, let's see. And the blade shape that Lynn Thompson invented, the American Tonto. This one in S35VN. Blade length on the Code 4, 3 9/16. Handle 5 1/16. The triad lock is dead rock solid. The blade is super free. The centering is very close to perfect. Near mint, wrong box. You can buy these brand new for $113 at your favorite web retailer. This one's $90 like it is. $120 with an Apostle P edge. That's the Cold Steel Code 4 Tonto. Next up from Demco Knives. It's an AD 20.5. And I believe this is, I don't think this is a dealer exclusive, but it is in orange polymer. Is it FRN? Is it, I don't know, is it Grivery? It could be. Got the AD 20.5 logo in the clip flat. This will be an ambidextrous clip, but is the other clip in the box? Let's look. Because it would need to be for it to be ambidextrous. The other clip is in the box. Alright, that's a good sign. That is a very good sign. Especially if the buyer happens to be left-handed. Okay, so let's talk about this guy. It's the AD 20.5 shark foot with a black PVD or DLC coating. This has been sharpened. Not as well as I might, but it's not bad. Blade length on the 20.5 is 3 inches. The handle's 4 7/16. It's got the shark lock. Ball bearing pivot. Rock solid lockup. Blade centering is dead. Condition is near mint in box. Price of these online brand new is $160. This one can be yours, $110 like it is. $135 with my edge. Next day sharpening available if it's one of the first four. The Demco AD 20.5 shark foot. Next up, I told you there's a multi-tool tonight. Must be a Leatherman, and it is. What Leatherman is it? Well, it's a Skelletool CX. So you got your black oxide frame, stainless steel. You've got a pocket clip. You've got a main blade 154 cm, 2 5/8 inches in length on a liner lock mechanism. You've got a driver system, and the tools lock into it on this little rocker. Extra tools are on board somewhere. There we go. Your Phillips drivers are over here. You got your carabiner. You got your pliers. Appears to be about brand new. We'll call it near mint in box. You can buy these online brand new right now for $90 brand new, or this one, it's about brand new. How about $70 shipped priority mail? $95 with my edge on that single blade. That's the Leatherman Skelletool CX. Next up, oh my. Uh-oh. 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 Looks like it's a 535-191 gold class bug out. Oh my. Carbon fiber scales, blue C-Tech inserts. What do they call that gray coating? Something titanium something. Oh my. Thumb studs and standoffs are blue anodized titanium. The blade is Damasteel. It is etched number 212. We don't know how many. Oh my, that's gorgeous. Perfect action, perfect lockup. Perfect centering. Look at the long blade, man. It's like new in the box. They're discontinued. They're out of stock. When they were available, web retail was $750. This one can be yours at $650, like it is. $675 with my edge. That's the Benchmade 535-191 bug out gold class. Next up, from Buck, Edge of a Legend, we have the DLT Trading exclusive Buck 110 drop point. Comes in this sort of blue-gray split grain sheath. Very cool snap. Look at this, guys. Now this is not your average 110 in S35VN. Many of those had satin finished covers and bolsters and end caps. This is polished black canvas, micarta, polished nickel silver bolsters and end caps, and a drop point blade in S35VN steel. Lockup is dead rock solid. Blade centering is dead perfect. Condition is like new in box. These are discontinued and out of stock. This one can be yours, however, for $110. DLT exclusive. Beautiful knife. $135 with my edge. It's the Buck 110 drop point. So pretty. Next up, it is watch time on the TheApostleP Knife Sale. Kicking it off. We have one from Tissot. And the box is a little jacked up, guys. The bottom done fell out of it. but it does have a full kit. Books, papers. I think all the links are in the watch. I'm going to put it on my wrist just so you can see how big it is. We'll take off the old trusty DS30 and show you this thing. This is the TISO C-Star 600, or C-Star what? 660, so 660 feet, 200 meters. Let's see. So yeah, it's my wrist is about 7. That would go at least 7.5, maybe 8. Okay. So this is a quartz chronograph, Swiss quartz, 41 millimeters diameter, 49 lug to lug, 12 thick, 19 millimeter lugs, factory bracelet. Looks like it has a dive extension, doesn't it? It does. Silver dial. It looks like an aluminum bezel insert, but the scale is embossed. Pretty cool. Let's see. In order to get that 200 meters of water resistance, the pushers screw out. The chrono is running. Let's see. And guys, the main chrono hand does not work real well. Like, it doesn't want to reset. So you have your 1/5 of a second scale at 2 o'clock that only runs like in the first 30 seconds, and then you got a 60-minute scale, and then you're running seconds down here. I'm sure there is a process for zeroing that chrono hand. I don't know what it is, but I'm sure it's available online. So I will screw down these pushers. There are some scratches in the bracelet, pretty minor, but we're going to sell this so far under market, you'll be happy to fix that main chrono hand yourself. These were $520 MSRP when they were available. They're discontinued, out of stock. Let's do this at $100 for the TISO C-Star 660 chronograph. Next up, we have a monster for you guys, and it's not a Seiko. It is from Deep Blue. Comes in a treasure chest. And we got the book, and we got the extra links. This is the 500 meter Dive Master automatic from Deep Blue. 500 meters of water resistance. You've got a matte black dial with some guilloche around the indices. The indices appear to be embossed. Orange seconds hand. The bezel is all stainless. The Arabics are raised and polished. Should be 120 unidirectional, and it is. Very nice. Very nice bezel action. Kind of a super engineer style bracelet. Milled center of the clasp. Stamped outer. Safety bail. Just friction fit. Dimensions on this guy are not timid. 48 diameter. Or I'm sorry, 57 lug to lug. 15 thick, 24 millimeter lug width. You've got some AR coating on top of that sapphire crystal. You can see it give a little blue cast every now and then. Swiss automatic in the back. Display case back. It looks way too big for my skinny little wrist, because it's a big watch. We're going to call this near mint in box. Very few scratches. I mean, even the clasp is pretty much unmarked. These are in sold listings on eBay, run between $450 and $485. We're going to do this one at $350 like it is. $350. And what's our timekeeping look like here? Huh, pretty good. Might be running -2 a day, something like that. Beautiful watch if you like them big. Next up, got one from a company I don't see much of. Oh, it is in this huge red box. Swiss Legend. Inside this box, you get a lot of stuff. You got an inner box that houses the watch. And not only is it a box, it's a winder. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but it is. And in this box here, let's see, you got your power cable and stuff. I got books, a microfiber cloth, got everything. Everything you need is in here. Let's see if I can get this all back together. Tell you what, guys, this is a lot of stuff. Wait till you see the watch. You're gonna freak. Oh, golly. Oh! The watch, big. It's big. It's the Militaire #1 automatic chronograph. So it's a sandwich dial, blue in the back. So you've got a 30-minute sub-register at 12. At 6 you have a 12-hour. And at 9 you have running seconds. And it looks like a second time zone. Could that be right? I think it is. Pushers are protected by gasketed caps. And so's the crown, by the way. There goes your chronograph off and running. And we're reset. So let's see. Did I look up the water resistance for this? 200 meters it says. So it's a Valjoux 7750 automatic chronograph movement. 52 millimeters in diameter. 62 lug to lug. 16 thick, and a lug width of 26. So a PVD case, nice rubber strap, display case back showing off that Valjoux, and this is a limited edition number 18 of 999. They're gone, you can't buy a new one. I'll call it near mint in box. There's actually some scratches in the AR coating on that sapphire crystal, so if they bother you, you can just polish off the AR coating. Found one of these in sold listings on eBay for $450. We're going to do this one at $400 like it is. No need to sharpen. That is on a Valjoux 7750 powered Swiss automatic chronograph. That's a buy, guys. If you can pull off a watch this big, that's for you. Okay. That brings us to the last item in tonight's sale, and it's another Tissot. It comes in a big old box, but the box is not the star of the show. The inner box is the star of the show. Check it. Let's see. Yes, It is the Tissot T-Race MotoGP limited edition. And inside the helmet, which has a little crack in it, by the way, it's got coins with the maps of all the Formula One tracks. I'm not sure what that is. That's pretty cool. Full kit, all the books, all the papers are in the box. There's your cushion. And here be the watch. So it is a quartz-powered, Swiss quartz-powered, carbon fiber dialed, racing chronograph. So we'll start that chrono hand going. We'll stop it. Now, your fraction of seconds subdial is a little wonky. It doesn't reset to 0, but again, you can change that. There's a process for doing it. This is a 42 millimeter diameter case. That is 12 thick, just 46 lug to lug, which is kind of hard to measure because this is kind of a proprietary lug system. And then you have a cut to length rubber strap with a deployant buckle. And we put this on. It's been cut, but it's very large. At least a 7.5 wrist. Maybe it hasn't been cut. But you do cut these for the perfect fit. And then 3 micro adjust. Very cool if you like black and yellow, huh? So let's see. These limited edition MotoGP versions usually sell in the $700 to $900 range secondary. We're going to do this one at $600. No need to sharpen. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of another knife and watch sale on the Apostle P channel. Hope you enjoyed it. I sure did. Grace to you and peace, my friends, from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Remember, the word is sharp. Now commence to clicking. I'll talk to you soon.